All right. So in question 4.2b, using that table, the question says, calculate as a percentage to correct to 2 decimal places the annual intrinsic growth rate for this model. So you've got logistic model, and remember that if you plot a graph of population, okay, so if you're plotting the graph of population against logistic growth rate, okay, so the question was find the intrinsic growth rate, which is R. So we're going to use, you have to have the picture of this graph in your head. So remember, on the y-axis, if you're plotting delta P over P, logistic growth rate against P, what we have to do is find the equation of the regression line. And remember, the growth rate decreases at a constant rate. You're normally given a whole lot of points, okay, which is what we've got in this case. So we've got some x and y values. Remember, the graph of the model, okay, if we're plotting a graph of population against time, intrinsic growth rates happens at the beginning. So on the graph of delta P over P, we need to find the equation of that regression line over there. Once we've done that, okay, in order to find the intrinsic growth rate, we're going to go find the x-intercept, and that'll give us R. So the first thing we do is find the equation of this line. So if we summarize the values that we've got, our x values are population, our y values are delta P over P. Okay, I've summarized them for you there. So you're going to be using your calculator in order to do this. So your two columns are population and delta P over P. Here we've worked out A already. Okay. Right, so those are x values. It's those two columns that we're going to be using in an exam. So you're going to plot these points. Okay, 2,52 goes with that. Okay, 5,12 goes with delta P over P value of 0,01314. And the last thing we've got an x and a y coordinate for is at 2020. Okay, and at that value, that point, your x value is equal to 7,22, and your y value, hey, in other words, your logistic growth rate is 0,009893. So those are the three values, the data that we're going to be entering into our calculator. And so to do this, we're going to be using stat mode of your calculator. So in your calculator, on the mode, you're going to put it onto the stat version. Okay. Then we're looking for a line of regression. So you're going to find the A plus BX button, enter that. Okay. And then once you've done that, okay, we're going to enter the data. We're going to enter our X scores and our Y scores. I usually enter all my X, then I enter all my Y values. So you enter your data. Okay, once the data is entered, okay, we clear our screen. Okay, so we enter the data is our next step. Once that is entered, okay, then you're going to clear your screen. Press the AC button. Right, now you need to do something with that data. So to access what you're going to do, you're going to go Shift, okay, find the number 1 on your calculator, and you're going to press Stat. So now that gives you access to what you want to do with that button. We're going to, the y is equal to a plus bx function. Okay. Remember, this is what we're trying to find. We're trying to find the equation of the regression line. So we enter y hat is equal to a plus bx. So to figure out what a is, you obviously press A, equals, and that should give us a value of 0,027435. Okay, and that is actually, okay, your y-intercept, which is what we're looking for. Remember, we're looking for R, which is your y-intercept of that graph. So effectively, I mean, your x-intercept, if you let, apologies, your y-intercept, so you let x be equal to 0. Okay. And so in this model, your y-intercept, which is R, is going to be 0.027435. So that is the question answered. But just a reminder that, okay, sorry, they wanted it as a percentage, so it's going to be 2.74% is going to be your intrinsic growth rate. Okay. So we found the regression line, then we found the y-intercept, that should have been. Okay. Find the y-intercept, we let x be equal to 0. You've got to be comfortable with that graph, delta p over p and p, where the y-intercept, okay, is your intrinsic growth rate, your maximum growth rate, okay, and your x-intercept is your carrying capacity.